Hey, hello everybody, my name is CulBlu, and I am bringing you guys the Thursday Evening Cup series. This will be the second game that I'm casting for the series, but we're actually in the thick of it. We're all the way down to the round of 8, so only 8 teams left if I'm not mistaken, which means that if you guys want to do the math, 2 teams going against each other, 8 teams total. We have 4 teams left, which means we're moving to the semifinals next round, and the grand finals, or just the finals. For the next one, just waiting for everybody to load up and try to get everybody to come on in. Well, like I said, my name is CulBlu, and I'm excited to be here because if all those don't know about my past, I did admin for the Sunday Evening Cup series, which is the father event of this one. This one was born out of that coming to full fruition because more people wanted to play. And yeah, I had fun adminning that, and I eventually retired like recently. So it's fun to come back and contribute or continue to contribute to an event that I've been so involved with from the I guess the start. I don't know if that wasn't a start of SENSEi. SENSEi has been going for like 10 years, as far as I know. But I was involved with it for a while, so it's good to be giving back to the event outside of just adminning, because I know I can have a headache from adminning. So enough about me. Let's go and talk about these two teams playing. We got Volcania Gaming versus Team SENSEi, which actually I did follow Team SENSEi last game, and they did a good job of adjusting to strategy. So let's see what Volcania Gaming can throw at them. If it will throw them off guard, if Team SENSEi will continue to press on. The bans are going through. We got Nyx Assassin banned out and Alchemist banned out. Relatively standard bans. I was actually giving flashbacks to the days where Nyx Assassin was almost always first ban or second ban on either side, and it was always interesting to see because Spike Carapace used to be that powerful. Just Spike Carapace in itself was one of the best level 1 stuns. Well, it wasn't the best level 1 stuns, but it just prevented people from being aggressive against you, because if anybody just attacks you, you just pop Spike Carapace. And if they didn't attack you, you said, okay, I gotta wait like 10 seconds and I get it back again, so I can use it again. So increasing that cooldown timer definitely nerfed that, and also nerfing the ability for the Impale to track people. Definitely hurt Nyx Assassin with it, so it takes a lot more skill, with air quotes, to use Nyx Assassin nowadays. But still, having him banned out means that Team SENSEi won't have to face that pressure. Having OD banned out as well means that they won't have to face that I'm just going to flat out win my mid lane type of mid laner, which is where OD comes in. He's very annoying for that aspect, and he also steals your intelligence. And I don't know if you guys have ever had your intelligence stolen, but if you did, it was probably by a scout / spy / heavy, and they never gave it back. And they made it all the way to the base because your team is full of idiots who all want to just build sentries in the worst spot possible, where it's not going to kill anything, and a heavy, of all things, captures the intelligence. But anyway, that's another game, another story. Flashbacks to my old war days. As far as the bans on the side of Volcania Gaming, they ban out the Alchemist plus the Venomancer, and those two things, I mean, Alchemist and Venomancer. Venomancer, yeah, I see where his power is. He's really good at pushing. He does a lot of damage over time. It's cool, it's good and all. But he's banned out as well as the Alchemist. I wouldn't necessarily say Venomancer deserved to be banned, but maybe they're doing some target bans. Maybe they've seen Team SENSEi do some interesting things with the Venomancer. Not too sure, but he is banned out nonetheless. Moving on to the side of Team SENSEi, they picked up the Invoker, and we're waiting for the next pick. Volcania Gaming, on the other hand, have picked up a Slark and a Timbersaw. And Slark Timbersaw, that's a really, really dangerous type thing, because Timbersaw is really good versus all your strength-based carries. He's also, to a certain extent, good versus your agility-based carries, because, well, pretty much any carry, because he reduces their damage by 15% just by spinning his Whirling Death, and it's very annoying, especially when you're trying to go for those last hits. And also his Whirling Death versus a strength-based carry, such as a Lifestealer, such as a DK, such as a Bristleback, if you want to play in that role. It just eats them alive, because they say, oh, I got a lot of HP and I got a lot of damage, I'm gonna punch in the face, Timbersaw. And Timbersaw says nope, like presses Q, says nope, and they lose not only 15% of their damage, and also take some pure damage if it hit a tree, assuming it hit a tree, but they also lose 15% of their maximum HP. So they essentially take pure damage in the form of, let's say it's level 4, Whirling Death, so I take a whole entire 250 pure damage, because we're assuming it hit a tree. It means they feel every single bit of that, and they lose 15% of their maximum HP, and Timbersaw can still right click him, and Timbersaw's Chakram, he can throw it on to slow him down. It's just so hard to fight versus a Timbersaw's a strength person. So we see Team SENSEi obviously taking their sweet time figuring out who they want to play, because who they pick next just might be the worst or the best choice of their life. Like I said, Lifestealer, DK, Bristleback, they're not necessarily out of the pool, but Timbersaw is already picked, and is going to be very annoying.
Dire team ban.
So it'll be very hard for them to actually pick into a Timbersaw with a Lifestealer or DK or a Bristle. And those are three main ones I ever see, so that's the only reason why I keep mentioning those three. You could see a Spirit Breaker. Come on, guys. Who wouldn't want to see a freaking Spirit Breaker? Space Cal Dota, I'm just saying. Crystal Maiden was the last pick on Team SENSEi in this first picking phase, and she's a very good support to have in the sense that she can give you that early game aggression with her Frostbite plus Nova. That's all she needs is just those two spells. Level 1 on both of them. She could probably help you get an easy kill. And also later on, her brilliance, or during the middle game, her brilliance. Oh, sorry. Oh, they changed the name. Sorry. The Arcane Aura, not her Brilliance Aura. But Arcane Aura does give everybody that additional region that they need. And if they do pick up a Bristleback on Team SENSEi, I still would like to see a Bristle, even though it's a Timbersaw on the map, and there's a Slark as well. So people who steal stats, so stats steal Dota. If we see a Rubik picked up, they'll be stealing stuff Dota. I'm not too sure who else steals things in this game. I can't think of anybody right now. Slark, Timbersaw, and Rubik are only three people I can think of who steal things. Technically, Timbersaw doesn't steal things; he returns it. And Slark, same thing. And Rubik, he doesn't actually take.
10 seconds remaining.
Anyway, that's getting me distracted. Based on what I'm saying, though, we still might see the Bristleback. The Bristleback, sorry, the Crystalback, which is what I like to call it, which is Crystal Maiden plus Bristleback. Really fun stuff. Bristleback gets all the mana regen that he needs from Crystal Maiden's Arcane Aura, and you can just be really aggressive early on with the Bristleback plus a Crystal Maiden. It's a really nice thing. So as far as our bans go, we see a Visage ban, or Visage, however you want to pronounce that, and we also see a Lich ban on the side of Team SENSEi. So that tells me that they might be going for a type of strategy where they need to clump up, or maybe they just want to actually win their lane. Lich is a very powerful support in the sense that he can sacrifice his own creep, get XP for him and his allies, or everybody who's there, or maybe the enemy if they're close by. But still, it's denying the creep, that's denying gold, that's denying potential XP from the enemy team, and his ulti is always a big annoyance and a big thing to worry about. Especially if you go for someone like a Lone Druid, or a Prophet, or an Invoker. Actually, they have an Invoker, or an Invoker who has his units around, so that's 10 bounces going to bounce on top of everybody, and it's going to hurt a lot.
Dire team pick.
So as far as the other bans, we see a Mirana ban and a Doombringer ban, and Doom banned out. Yeah, they have a Storm Spirit, they have a Slark, and they want to actually do things with those two people. So having Doom banned out means that they'll actually be able to be aggressive and not have to worry about any ban or any ultis getting thrown on top of them. But I will say this though, a Doombringer picked into a Timbersaw, I personally would not like that, not one bit, for the main sense that Doombringer has some very crappy armor, and by crappy armor I mean not really any armor to speak of, and Timbersaw can just sap all the HP from Doombringer. He'll feel a whole bunch of damage afterwards because not only did he lose a lot of his HP because of 15% reduction in his primary stat, but he'll also just flat out die afterwards because he doesn't want to have a lot left. Abaddon's a pickup on side of Team SENSEi, and I do like that pickup versus this lineup, mainly for the sense that if Slark does leash on top of Abaddon, he can throw an Athropathic Shield on top of an ally and maybe save their life. If Timbersaw decides to go for full aggro and try to kill Abaddon, Abaddon will be fine. He has his ult as long as he has his ult. Storm Spirit, if he jumps on top of somebody, then Abaddon, of course, Athropathic Shield and just casually lulls away. So they have a lot of, the Athropathic Shield gives them a lot of flexibility on Team SENSEi. I'm still not sure if Abaddon's going to be played as a primary farmer, or a carry, or core, however you want to pronounce that, or however you want to call it, or if he's going to be played as support.
Reserve time.
But we're just going to go under the assumption that Abaddon is going to be playing either support and or carry. So he's going to play one of those two roles. It all depends on the next picks from SENSEi, and it really depends on the next picks from Volcania Gaming. Just waiting for these guys to pick up the next pick. They have 48 seconds left. And while we're waiting for all this, I would like to say shout out to everybody who's watching, shout out to everybody who will be watching in the future on YouTube, and also shout out to the players in this game. It's a Thursday, it's an Evening Cup series, and it's awesome stuff, but guys, it's a Thursday, and it's like, from where I am, it's 11:30 right now, and I'm just casting because, well, I was like, hey, this thing's open, and I don't have that much homework to worry about, so, cool. Anyway, so there we go, we got a root pickup, so we got a Stealing Strat Dota coming up from Volcania Gaming. I called it, so all I gotta say guys is I called it, technically Storm Spirit can steal something. He can steal your movement speed. Well, he doesn't steal your movement speed, he just slows you. He can steal your life, but he's not a life stealer. Which actually, now that I said that, that brings up a perfect point. We could have a life stealer picked up on the side of Volcania Gaming, which will be a sexy thing. That will
5
basically move
seconds,
TimberSaw down to a
5
support
remaining.
role and also Rubik to a support role. Which I don't think is that big of a deal.
Reserve time.
TimberSaw, really all he needs is a Bloodstone, which does take a lot of farm. Rubik, he can do really well with just buying nothing
10
but wards and the
seconds
brown
remaining.
boots and maybe a magic wand. Just to keep him give him a few stats here and
5
there.
seconds
But he should
remaining.
be relatively survivable. So having TimberSaw play that 4 role where he does do some supporting. And oh my gosh, we got a Luna pick up on Team SENSEi.
Radiant team ban.
Alright, enough to be talked about on Luna. So as of recently, I talked to a player, a person who plays on a team who recently won another tournament that shall not be named to because I want to respect the TECS or Thursday Evening Cup series
10 seconds remaining.
by not naming other series. But anyway, the team that won that, I did an interview with them, and they were
5
basically,
seconds
I basically asked them a
remaining.
question of why Luna? Why is Luna better than Gyro? And he basically said because Luna,
Reserve
as far
time.
as her right click damage, I mean, she can actually do some really good right click
Dire
damage.
team
And
ban.
he said some other things, and I need to go back and watch it because I forgot. Like I literally just forgot. But something about her being able to just get in there and do her damage. Gyrocopter, he has to have the cooldown of like 30 seconds between his flat cannon and stuff, and it's annoying. So Luna
10
picked up,
seconds rema- 10
solid
seconds
pickup.
remaining.
I still don't see it, honestly. I mean, I've seen many
5
matches where Luna's
seconds
done
remaining.
extremely well, but her as a primary carry, I don't think she's really necessarily weak. I think she's a lot more survivable. She can hit her stride a little bit earlier because she can
Radiant
actually
team
solo
pick.
kill somebody. But still, all that said, I'll talk about that more in the game. But as far as our ban tier, we got a Bristol back ban, so we won't be seeing a Crystal back, which makes you sad, which is a
Dire
Crystal Maiden
team
plus
pick.
Bristol back, or a Bristol Maiden. But we will be seeing something else, which I'm actually curious to see what Team SENSEi decided to go for. They banned on a Jakiro of all people. I don't know when's the last time I seen a Jakiro picked up as a support. And a Viper's going to be picked up on the side of Team SENSEi. So all in all, their lineup it has some good synergy between the Afterpilot Shield and Luna. That's a lot of damage and also keeping Luna alive. Between Crystal Maiden and Invoker and also Viper, that should be a lot of harassment damage because Invoker does, to a certain extent, need some mana, or does have some mana issues sometimes. Viper, he can just spam the crap out of his poison attack because Crystal Maiden giving him that free regen. And on the side of Volcania Gaming, I mean, their strategy, they don't have that super big, I'm going to get fatly fed farmer on their side. They do have a Slark who can play that role, and he will likely be trying to hit his stride as soon as he can, so he'll start rolling around and ganking and trying to go for that. But as far as his carry potential versus a Luna or an Invoker, I don't see it as strong.
10 seconds
And I do
remaining.
think Volcania Gaming do have the weaker lineup. That said, the synergy that they have
5
between the team is
seconds
actually
remaining.
pretty darn good. You have an Ancient Apparition plus a TimberSaw. That's going to be an easy kill on top of, well, there's easy kill on top of Abaddon. Even if Abaddon pops his ult, I want to say he can't heal, which means that he'll just keep taking damage. We'll have to see once that
Time
pops
for
up.
preparations.
But before we continue talking about that, let's go and do our introductions. Start off on the side of the Radiant, since we got a pause coming out from somebody on the Dire. Actually, no, sorry. We got a pause coming out from somebody on their team. On this TimberSaw, we see Sire CTC. Moving over to this Rubik, we see at D. On this Ancient Apparition, we see Dusa, which that name looks super familiar. I just don't know from what team I've seen it from. Might have been this team. Moving on to the Slark, we see Volcania Megan on that Slark. And last but not least, on the Storm Spirit, we see Juan CTC. Moving to the side of the Dire, we see Kamigz Tinker, hashtag Tinker. Moving on to this Luna, we see Hey Joe on her. On this Abaddon, we see Scout. Or sorry, that's not Scout, that's Soat. I apologize, that's Soat. Moving on to this Crystal Maiden, we see Arse. And last but not least, on this Invoker, we see Trash. And that ends out the callouts on this map. So like I said before, I mean, not much to say. The one thing I was going to talk about was Luna and her potential and stuff, and I was going to talk about more in the game, but I pretty much said most of it in the draft. Basically, her ability to be aggressive, where she go? Her ability to be aggressive, it's a lot more profound than Gyrocopter's. And also, she can solo kill people a lot easier in the sense that her ulti plus level 3 Lunescent Beam plus your face equals dead you. That's a lot of damage that she can output in the course of, what, how many seconds is it? 4 beams, 0.6 seconds between strikes, so 0.6 times 4, that's 2.4 seconds. In 2.4 seconds, she can dish out roughly 225 times 4, so that would be roughly 1,000 damage that they'll actually feel, because you also have to account for the innate damage reduction that everybody has coming out from the built-in magic resistance. And for those who don't know, every single hero has a built-in magic resistance of 25%, with the exception of Visage or Visage and Meepo. Meepo has 35% and Visage has 12% or 15%, something like that. Anyway, all that said, it does. Alright, Luna's any magic damage number you see doesn't actually do that much damage to the heroes. But yeah, Luna should be able to solo kill maybe like an Ancient Apparition, Rubik, and a Storm Spirit to a certain extent for the most part of the game. If they do take some other sorts of damage, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how well this works out for these guys. And as far as how well things are working out, we might see an early game clash come on. We got 4 people heading on top for the Radiant. We also got 5 people heading to the jungle of Volcania, of SENSEi, and they're walking towards the same spot. We might be seeing some very early aggression coming out from both of these teams. I don't know if we'll actually see a kill, but we will see here very soon. Timbersaw hasn't really picked anything, doesn't really know what to go for, doesn't really know whether to go for the Timber Chain or to go for the Whirling Death, but looks like they will casually back away because they are outnumbered, and Slark is going to hang out down bottom. So Observer Ward already placed out of the jungle just to see who's around here. Really good Observer Ward to have as a Dire, but it can get dewarded very easily coming up from the Radiant if they are aware of it. But this ward is a really nice ward because a lot of times what happens is when a pull's going on coming up from the Dire side, they're pulling around this way, the creeps are doing on that. The person who's on the Radiant side is going to casually walk on up here, just sap a little bit of HP, try to contest it. And if they know that the person from the other side is coming up there, they can just easily have the person who's actually in lane farming on the Dire side converge over there. And I just like drawing arrows if you haven't picked up on that. And they can converge over there, and easy kill is easy. Timbersaw just might die. So as far as how the lanes are panning out, we see Rubik actually heading mid, trying to go for easy kills up on Invoker level 1. Level 1 Invoker who's going Quas Exort, he's usually not that survivable, so if Storm does have himself a nice little Vortex, they just might be able to kill him. But we got everybody in position. Rubik's on the backside. Invis Rune not really running out anytime soon. Ancient Apparition did decide to go for the Chilling Touch, which means that's going to be a little bit extra damage. We got Rubik coming on forward. We got Ancient Apparition coming on forward. We got a lot of damage coming towards Trash, and Trash just might be going down. Has no spells to speak of. Does go down to DotA on that Ancient Apparition, and that should be some early boost for him. So he does get some beautiful awards for his troubles. Meanwhile, down bottom, Slark just trying to collect what little XP he can. Just trying to do what he can. Just feels so sad. Look, he's so sad. He's actually crying right now. Either he's crying or he's sweaty. He's
Dire's
very
middle
sweaty.
tower is under fire.
Crying sounds more emotionally sound. But he's not going to be collecting much XP, mainly because Crystal Maiden has a Frostbite. Abaddon has the Athropathic Shield, which I don't know if it gets rid of Leash, but you have all this early damage coming out from these guys. If you want to talk about more early damage, Luna's Luna Blessing plus a few other people equals an extra, 14 damage per person. So 14 damage times 3, do more math, that's essentially 50 damage Slark's going to hit Phil per hit that he gets thrown to his face. That's going to be a lot of free right clicks. It's not going to be fun. So it looks like we got a lot of aggression getting thrown on mid. These guys are really trying their hardest to shut down Invoker. And Invoker is officially level 2. No, he's level 3. So he does have Cold Snap. He does have a Sunstrike. So he's ready to pick off anybody who does decide to get a little bit too antsy. I'm doing an excellent job of playing very safe though, because he sees that there's no support here. The support's actually smoked up. The smoke is going to be wearing out here right in the river, but sadly the Dire have no vision. They do ping in the jungle saying, hey, let's go ahead and go back for mid, and they're doing a good job of roaming around, but I'm very concerned about how much XP they're collecting. They are both level 2, which is on par. Oh my gosh, they get scouted out. They get scouted out with this illusion coming out from Luna. Rubik actually throws out a zap. Actually, that was an Abaddon illusion. Rubik actually throws out a zap, and Invoker shall be safe to farm another day. Meanwhile, down bottom, what do we see? We see 3 people. 3 people inside the Dire just hanging out down here. Slark, I don't know if he has any last hits, and by the looks of it, he has 0 last hits. Wow, it's kind of scary. Since when you see someone has 0 last hits? We got the rotation coming in from the supports. They are going to be able to not do anything because Viper has Observer Ward. He knows the jig is up. And see, Abaddon once again. Abaddon's going to be running away with that illusion. Illusions do go down. Meanwhile, Ancient Apparition does give himself a little bit more mana. And mid, we got Storm Spirit getting chased away by the Invoker, who has his Cold Snap Sunstrike. If Invoker is is able to time it well enough, he can try to go for the kill and try to go for the aggression. And I think that just might be what we see Juan on that Storm Spirit banking on. Meanwhile, here we got a Viper versus a Timbersaw. Timbersaw is taking a whole bunch of damage, losing a lot of HP very fast. Throws out a nice little bit of damage. So sadly, Viper is agility and not strength. And now we got Timbersaw going to be going down. The first blood was already had, so that was the second blood, and Viper able to get himself a nice, easy solo kill. Speaking of things that are easy, this bottom lane is so easy for Luna right now because Slark can't do anything but collect XP. He's still very sad, but he's level 3. Once he hits level 6, he'll just be killing all these bros like a boss. Actually, I do like his build. Usually see Slarks go for early Orb of Venom, but in this lane, to be honest, he's not going to get any type of aggression. And speaking of aggression, we have the supports rotating around down bottom. They're going to be looking for something. Slark just needs a leash. Rubik trying to get a telekinesis through the trees. His range is just out of range. Luna just needs to come around there into the unknown zone. Rubik actually going to shoot through the tree. Beautiful job coming from him. Telekinesis does come through. Slark gets the leash that he wanted, and Luna can't really do anything but throw some damage. Does and actually throwing damage. Beautiful afterthought shield coming from Abaddon. Luna going to be taking enough damage coming from Ancient Apparition. He does get the kill, but he does lose his life in the process. And now we got the chase going to continue. Slark should have a leash here very soon. 4 seconds for Crystal Maiden. Abaddon needs to go and throw the body blocks. It looks like Slark's going to run away with his jump, and he will be losing his life due to that tower shot. So he might have been better off going for that kill on top of Crystal Maiden. But hey guys, hindsight is of course 2020. Which means it's easier, it's much easier to say things should have been this way afterwards. Taking a look at the courier, this is that one courier, that Lashak courier or something like that. It's like a weird courier. It's like a Griffin door thing. And on the side of the Dire, what courier do they have? They have, of course, El Gato. I still want one.
Invisibility.
Envision picked up by Rubik, and he's going to go try his luck once again to kill the Invoker, who actually has a lot of points inside of his Sunstrike, so Rubik might need to be a little bit careful, but this could be easy kill. And Storm Spirit does have the Vortex level 2, so it's going to last a few seconds. They throw up telekinesis, the Vortex does go through, Ancient Apparition shows up with the damage, a lot of damage coming towards the Invoker, and the Invoker does go down, and Storm Spirit is taking a little bit of damage, did get hit with the cold snap. The TP support did come in from Suits on that Abaddon, but it wasn't nearly fast enough. Just exploded. And speaking of explosions, we got Timbersaw. Oh my gosh, found the courier. Not gonna be able to do anything. Viper just casually picking off Timbersaw all day long, and it sucks a lot because as a Timbersaw, you kind of bank on the fact that you have so much armor that it just can't do anything to you. But between Viper's ability to slow Timbersaw, so he can't really get into range to actually do much, and if he does Timber chain away, Viper can just casually walk on towards him. And also considering the fact that Viper has a Nether Toxin, which just does so much damage to Timbersaw afterwards. Like, it's doing 120 damage max. So 7.5 bonus damage. If you want to Manhunter, Crystal Maiden taking a whole bunch of damage down bottom. She does go down. Slark able to get the leash off. And yeah, like I said, Slark said, once I hit level 6, bro, you're dead. He's level 5, but he's close enough. You guys know what I mean. You guys get the picture. You guys get what I mean. You understand me.
On my watch.
The last hits are always looking excellent for Luna, but keep in mind that she has died once, and Slark is up 1 kill if I'm not mistaken. He's also up 1 assist. So the gold on their part should be looking pretty much exactly the same. Slark, did he just hit level 6? No, he's not level 6 just yet. But he will be hitting level 6 very soon. And I'm really loving the patience coming out from Megan on the side of Volcania. Mainly because, as Slark, I mean, you want to be aggressive. You want to try to get in there and try to get a kill or get a last hit here and there. But he knows for a fact that he cannot go in and be aggressive because he'll just pretty much die. Or he can't actually get a kill because Abaddon throws out Afterthought Shield and Luna's fine. So level 6 is up on Slark. He can take all the slaps in the face that he wants now, or he can start roaming if he wants to. If he does roam towards mid, Invoker probably won't die because he does have support in the form of Crystal Maiden on his backside. It looks like these guys will want to go in. Sentry replaced by Crystal Maiden because they're so afraid of Rubik getting that luck on those Invis runes. He's only had like 2 Invis runes. And also to D-ward any Sentry wards or Observer wards that are placed over there. Ping's coming through on the map. We got the supports roaming around trying to see if they can find a Viper. And we got the craziest of all gamer senses in the world. Tinker up top says, "Bro, I know what's up. Chill the crap out. I got this." He's actually playing very far back, waiting for his creep wave. Doesn't want to have any part of dying. And we got a nice little observer ward placed by the Radiant side. Well played. That's a very good offensive observer. They
Dyer's
will be able to see him on the backside. And actually, speaking of defensive observers, let's talk about offensive smoke of the seats, because that's what they're used for. The supports will be running right past each other. They will be revealing one side. Chris made one scout out by Rubik, and Rubik immediately going to regret his decision. We got a nice little thing. We got a nice little ability getting thrown out by Ancient Prince. That's kept the top Viper, but not going to be enough. Chris does get the frostbite on top of Rubik, and that will be his demise. Volker, Sunstrike does fly. It would have landed if Rubik would have continued along his path. But at the end of the day, it was just a crystal maiden for nobody, and Rubik able to keep himself intact. So Viper, if Viper was able to get his ulti off, he would have been able to get the kill on top of Rubik. But the reactions coming out from D on that Rubik were definitely on point. Meanwhile, now Bono Slark actually roaming around, still trying to collect some XP. I really would like to see him Slark a little bit more active as in running around the map trying to go for kills. But I mean, even with that said, it's going to be kind of difficult because you have the Central place mid, which can make sure the Dire can deward anything that's placed around there. And actually, the Dire don't have any vision. Wow. I was going to say the Dire have some vision, so Slark would get scouted out easily, but the vision on the side of the Radiant is excellent, but the vision on the side of the Dire is horrid. I mean, look at this. They can only see what's in the lane. They have no clue if anybody's roaming around the gank, and the only thing they can see is what the supports and creeps can see. And it's not what you want to have happen. Especially not when there's a Slark on the map. You want to have as much vision as you possibly can get, in my opinion. Of course, my opinion is not always the best opinions. Shoot you wrong. Anyway, we got Storm Spirit getting hit with a nice little bit of damage. He's going to casually zip on away, use his bottle charge to heal himself up. Meanwhile, Timbersaw walking around in circles because he's surrounded by trees. And yeah, everybody's just still chilling, so it's pretty much a chill farm game. So we got going for the landing stage. As far as the items, we got Storm Spirit working on an Orchid Malevolence or Refresher. Probably Orchid's actually. We got Slark coming around the corner. He's going to be going for a leap on top of Luna. Luna does have the ulti. She needs to go ahead and drop it. She is going to go ahead and TP out while she can. And actually, she turns around. She decides to go for the ulti. The ulti does land on top of Slark, but so many people here, so many creeps, not going to do anything. I don't know if that was really worth it. But they will be able to get the kill on top of the Rubik because the TP did come down for Viper. Timbersaw does show up as well. A lot of damage coming from Viper on top of Timbersaw. Timber chains away, and Viper's going to go for the chase. Sunstrike from Revoker goes. It does not land on point, just barely off. Timbersaw just barely able to get around the corner. And now we got everybody surrounding a wild Slark who does get hit with a nice little Lunar Beam and leaps into a tree. So these guys are eating trees trying to find the Slark, and Slark is scattered out. Finally, he's getting pinged to death, and he does go down. Not going to be able to heal enough. He didn't have a plan B. Should have had a plan B. So far, so good on both sides. I mean, in my honest opinion, any even engagement that you ever see on this map in this particular game is going to be in favor of Team SENSEi, mainly because their team can go a little bit later than the team on the side of Volcania. I just don't see Slark becoming that carrier that they need him to be. But then again, they do have a Timbersaw who just doesn't die once he gets a Bloodstone. The question is, how close is he to a Bloodstone? And the answer is only one piece out of the 6 pieces, or 5 pieces that he needs. Timbersaw, along with his illusions, walking on through the mid, don't find anything to actually go on. And Abaddon going to be going for a warding trip, but he might meet a Timbersaw, which I think he'll force him to back away. Abaddon places an Observer one, and sadly it doesn't get, it gets the vision that he needs, never mind. But he does see the Timbersaw, and he's going to run away while he can. He does find the Timbersaw. He's level 6, so he can't go for the fight. Loses a lot of HP, loses a lot of stats. Timbersaw wants to go for the kill. Luna shows up, throws out Luna as a beam, and Timbersaw is going to say GTFO, and he's going to do exactly that. Well, supports down bottom, just, casually killing stuff. Central Ward is down here, so they can see Slark well, they can't see Slark if he pops his ult. But if any shenanigans are up, they will be able to see it. And I see Storm Spirit taking a whole bunch of damage, but I don't know from where. Oh, look, a stack.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is getting walloped.
Regeneration.
Region room picked up by Invoker, down bottom tower getting sieged by 3-on-3, trying to go for the fight, and we got up top, we got a little bit of fight going on too. Timbersaw versus Viper, and it sucks to be freaking Timbersaw because Viper did put a lot of points in his Crows' skin. It's an excellent idea because Timbersaw's damage is all pure damage and magic damage, and yeah, magic resistance won't reduce pure damage. That's the whole idea behind pure damage, is that it does exactly what it says. But it will reduce the magic damage, which is all Chakram is on Timbersaw, which it does like what, 100 damage, 50 damage per second. And Viper can reduce all of that by essentially, I think, Croesus skin gets with 25%, and he has built-in 25%. So pretty much he feels only half of what the numbers say on the damage numbers. Which means he only feels 25, was it 25 damage per second? Meanwhile down here in the middle we got a lot of damage coming towards a wild Invoker. Invoker is going to be alive, stay alive because of beautiful play coming out from Abaddon. It's a really, really good play, really clutch play coming out from Suits on that Abaddon, keeping his Invoker alive, and Invoker did go for the Hand of Midas build. And that would have been devastating, in my honest opinion, if Invoker went down while his Hand of Midas came on cooldown. Because Hand of Midas does take a whole entire 10 minutes, actually no, sorry, 10 times 90 seconds for it to actually pay itself off.
Have been secured.
Because it has a 100-second cooldown. Oh, sorry, 10 times 100.
Radiant's middle tower.
Anyway, down bottom we got a fight happening. We got a ancient person body be going on. This is level 6 because if he was, that would be a dead Crystal Maiden. But it doesn't matter. Sark said, "Bro, I got this." Going to see if he can show up and try to kill the Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden going to go ahead and TP away. Does throw out a nice little death pack plus a nice little leash, and Crystal Maiden is officially dead. And while all this is going on, the middle tower before Radiant did go down, as you guys hear the guys saying in the background, and a lot of damage. So now. Not a lot of damage. A lot of good items coming out for the Dire all around. Viper has that mechanism which just makes him as annoying as all heck to kill. And Luna Knight would have found the target on Timbersaw. She does not get there fast enough. Timbersaw able to TP away using the map to his advantage. And Abaddon has Tranquil Boots. Cool. So Sark did in fact go for that Orb of Venom at the end of the day. So he did end up at his final build. He looks like I'm not sure if he's going to be going for a Shadowblade Scotty, which I've seen quite a bit on Slarks. Like Shadowblade Scotty, I'm still not a fan of it on Slark, but it does work. They build Shadowblades and they suddenly have enough gold for a freaking Scotty and they kill everything. Frostbite from Slark on top, from Crystal Maiden on top of Slark. Slark going to continue to run away. His ulti is available, but he's going to take a lot of damage. Coming up from the pure damage, does dodge a little bit of a bullet. And he actually throws out a death pack. Crystal Maiden ulti does fly through. Not going to be there to do enough damage. And is it Death Pack level 1? No, it's Death Pack level 2. So it didn't do a whole bunch of damage to Slark. Middle tower getting pinged by the Dire saying, "Hey bro, we need to defend this," but the Radiant said, "Bro, we need to hurry kill us," and they do kill that middle tower. Storm able to claim the gold for that, and he's going to be getting that much closer to his Orc of Malevolence, which he did buy the recipe for. Looks like he was about to die when he did go for that. I'm assuming. He should be, yeah, he'll be able to finish out the rest of the pieces out in the field. Meanwhile, down bottom, what do we got going on? We got Ancient Apparition plus Slark hanging out like bros. AA just wants to get level 6 so he can actually pop his ult and be useful. Meanwhile, we got Timbersaw trying to go on top of Luna. Luna would have just casually dropped the ult and got the kill. Just dropped that beat, you know, should have just got that easy kill. With Timbersaw of course, being, you know, the audio floor and Luna being the beat. She would get dropped on Timber. I don't know. I was trying to make that work. I just kind of screwed that all up. But yes, moving on to things that are more important. Timbersaw, 2 pieces in on his Bloodstone. He needs a whole entire 3 more pieces before he finishes that up. And the reason why I'm keeping track of that so hard is because once Timbersaw builds a Bloodstone, he generally doesn't die unless everybody just focuses every single bit of effort they have on top of him. And speaking of every single effort, we got Slark showing up for Viper. Viper going to do a whole bunch of Slark misses his leash, pops his ulti. Ancient Apparition ulti does go through. It will land on everybody who's involved in it. Actually, Invoker does take quite a bit of damage. And now Storm Spirit zips in, gets the Orc on top of Invoker. Invoker's going to be going down to the shadow damage by the looks of it, or to the Orchid burning, one or the other. And now we got people still run away. Rubik has himself a nice little haste rune, so he will be able to run away. Dust takes Viper ulti and throws it right in the face of Crystal Maiden, but she is going to be able to make it alive because of Athapathic Shield. And Rubik very glad to have the haste rune. Meanwhile, the top TPs does come through. Slark is here. Slark is ready to defend. Luna throws a little bit of damage. Slark, I don't know if you really want to go on that, but he could potentially try to. Maybe if his ulti was off cooldown, but not otherwise. If my camera would do the right thing, there we go. Everybody's just casually farming, casually pushing the lanes back and forth. Rotations are coming through. We got Storm Spirit rotating back towards mid. Looks like he wants to go for top for an easy kill on top of Luna. Not too sure if he'll be able to make it there before the tower dies. But it looks like the tower will be going down here very shortly. Just maybe 2 more creep waves with Slark defending it. 1 more creep wave with nobody defending it, of course. The pings do go here down bottom. They want to go for something. They're trying to go for a kill. They have, no, I was about to say, they have Slark around the backside, but no. We got Ancient Apparition ulti going to be flying through. Going to be catching up everybody. Beautiful ulti coming up from Timbersaw, but it didn't really catch anybody, so I guess not that beautiful. Viper trying to get his damage off. Does get his ulti off the top of Timbersaw. Timbersaw immediately in the deep end. Does get a kill on top of Crystal Maiden. Now we got Rubik. Rubik actually, sorry, Rubik got the kill. Now Timbersaw's trying to do what he can. Abaddon ulti forced to get popped. And Abaddon's going to casually back away. Now these guys will be making the great escape. They lost to Crystal Maiden, and Luna actually went down up top as well because Storm Spirit did rotate up there. So I totally missed that kill, but guys, I was focused down here. But Luna going down, that's a big deal.
Top tower is not on top of
that is a big deal. Because that means Volcania officially have an open spot to actually go for the attack. Mid-game is where Storm Spirit and Timbersaw hit their stride, and pretty much everybody. Timbersaw, Slark, and Storm Spirit, they all hit their stride mid-game. Late game is where Luna's going to become a big problem. But if Volcania can, close the hatchet earlier than, or faster than Luna can actually get her items to help her and her team close the hatchet, then they should be fine. Should be able to win this. And wow, Ancient Apparition able to survive. He almost goes down. Holy crap! One more right click is all they needed. And we got TPs immediately coming mid. They want to go for the kill on top of Slark. They want to keep their Viper alive. Storm Spirit getting cut out. Doesn't have enough mana to actually do anything, but just do one jump, and he's going to go down anyway. Invoker's just casually picking off the kill. Has those 4 spirits. Quas, Wex, Invoker, of course, but these aren't Iceforged. These aren't Iceforged 4 spirits, and I'm sad. Which Iceforged 4 spirits are the ones that look cool.
Double damage.
Abaddon providing all the heal that he possibly can to Luna, and Ancient Apparition, his items are looking very crappy. All he has is a recipe for a mechanism, and I don't know if he has pieces. Yeah, he just has a recipe. That's all I can afford. Ulti from A does go through. Luna almost able to get caught by it. If she would have got caught by it, I think that might have been time to fight. But looks like she didn't, and the Radiant will be backing off. Rubik is here. He has a Viper's ulti. He has a Viper Strike. Has to be very careful about where he decides to use it, though, because Abaddon can just actively shield it off. Which is the most frustrating thing in the world. It's like you do so much to get into the best possible position, throw your best possible ulti at the best possible time, and Abaddon just casually actively shields it off somebody. And it's like, dude, are you kidding me? So it looks like Trash on this Invoker is going to be going for the same exact build he went last time, which is Tornado Stick, Booster Travel, Tornado Stick into... No, that was Prophet. Prophet went for AC. I was about to say Booster Travel, Tornado Stick into AC. But no, that was Nature's Prophet last time around who went AC. We got the bottom tower getting sieged by the Radiant. They're doing a good job clearing everybody off, but they need to get everybody down here. And they will have all 5 of their people here very soon. Storm Spirit actually bottles up a haste rune, because Storm needs to move a lot faster. And we got a huge stack over here of Ancients. The support's doing their due diligence, trying to keep their carry supply to a farm, and they're going to go ahead and go for this farm this stack of Ancients. Slark is here. I think Slark scattered it out. I don't know if they'll be seeing the rotations that they want to see, but it looks like Slark will be, in fact, going for a Yasha, Sanjin Yasha. Bottom tower going to be getting sieged. Ancient Apparition ulti does fly through, does land on top of Luna. They're going to go for it. They want to go for it. Luna a little bit too far away, a little bit too safe. Abaddon throws out the Athapathic Shield, save for a little bit of damage, and she says thanks. Now we got the creeps getting cleared out from the dire side, and I mean, really, the whole thing is like you have. It's not the same exact thing we saw last time around, where we had a push strategy come out from the enemy team going against Team SENSEi. But it's kind of similar, where you have a lot of people trying to push on one side, and like just 2 or 3 people just turning like bosses, all by the lonesome. And speaking of being bosses like you're all by your lonesome, we got Invoker missing his Deafening Blast on Storm. Storm did have that haste rune up his sleeve, and he did pop it out and just casually walked away. Meanwhile, bottom tower does go down. Ulti coming out from Ancient Apparition, going to be catching all of nobody. I think they're going to go ahead and farm with these Ancients on the dire side, and Ancient Apparition was kind of hoping that somebody was still there farming it. Scouts it out, sees who's around, sees nobody. And it looks like the Radiant's going to wait for that to go away.
Bandages.
Sentry Wars again placed their row for Team SENSEi. They're going to continue resuming their farm of the Ancients, and the Ancients will not begin stacked. But Luna's here for the extra damage, gets a whole bunch of help from her allies, and the allies will be getting a whole bunch of XP from all this. And Ancient Apparition ulti is actually going to fly through. He's being such a nuisance with this. He's going to be able to catch a few people, but it's not going to be able to do too terribly much. Abaddon throws the Athapathic Shield on top of Luna once again to keep her safe and healthy. And I really do think this is one of those games where AA needs to get a... no, well, not necessarily needs, but it'll be really nice for AA to give himself... oh my gosh, Viper has an AC of all things, guys. because Viper needs more survivability. He now has a massive amount of armor, 75 armor. Oh, sorry, 75. Whoa, I wish he did have 75 armor. A lot of armor is all he has. Anyway, Rubik does steal the ulti coming off of Viper because it's the easiest thing in the world to steal. Storm Spirit taking a whole bunch of damage. Not a lot of damage coming towards the Viper. Meanwhile, we got Rubik going to be going down. Sunstrike was not able to finish off. Chris made to finish him off. And the middle tower gets denied of all things. So the Dire doing an excellent job of fighting this game. And oh my gosh, so much is going wrong right now. Meanwhile, Timbersaw is going to go ahead and TP out. Nobody has a stun to stop him except for Chris May, but she's a little bit too far away. So Timber able to make it out alive. His Bloodstone is not up, but it will be up in one more piece. And now we got a Storm Spirit. He needs to go ahead and GTFO because Abaddon has his ulti. Abaddon is going to go ahead and get his ulti procs. And Juan on that Storm will be able to just casually play checkers with these guys and run away.
Dire's top tower isn't well at the moment.
Top tower getting seized. Pings from the Dire are on the Roche pit. They want to go for Roche. It's basically ping down here. They want to go for that kill, so they'll likely go for the push this lane back a little bit, like maybe roughly right about there, and then try to make a beeline down to Roche. I do think they need to wait till the next fight, because they do have some really good vision on that Roche pit. They will know whenever the Radiant do decide to try to go for that. But I think they need to wait till the next fight, wait till they win the next fight, and then just casually go for the kill. Because Luna right here is trying to bait out the Slark, and Slark should know something's up, because Luna has a BKB, she hasn't popped yet. And speaking of things that haven't popped, we got an Invoker going to be getting popped right here. He goes down, Hand of Midas is off cooldown here. It should be roughly like 7 seconds, maybe 10 seconds wasted by the time you get to a creep. But it's fine. Invoker has been doing decent. Now we got Slark getting caught out. Luna does not get enough. She does move really fast, and Slark should not be able to outrun her. Actually, Slark is going to go ahead and TP out while he can. Does get hit with the Frost Nova. He was fine. Ulti long enough for him to TP out. Good decision making coming out from Slark on Volcania. So I looked at it once, I didn't talk about too much, but Luna BKB is up on her. Viper has a massive item for this time in the game. Essentially a 20-minute AC plus mechanism on top of power chase. That's a lot of farm for Viper. He's been doing all kinds of farming all around the map. He may have been getting it from hero kills, he may just be getting it from casual farm on top of all the ancients when he was helping Luna farm. But all in all, Viper has a lot of items for this moment in the game. It's very, very scary because that makes Viper really survivable. One thing that makes Viper a very, very powerful carry, if you want to play him in that role, is that he just survives. He just flat out survives because he has his corrosive skin, which helps him versus the magic things, and he's also agility, which means that if he wants to do damage, then he naturally builds agility items, and agility naturally gives you armor. So therefore, he gets more armor for getting more damage, and he becomes that much more scary of a carry. And he's really survivable, like I said before. So Viper having an AC gives him the armor earlier on, and also gives him the reduction in armor resistance. It gives him the AoE of armor reduction for his team to utilize, such as an Invoker who has the negative armor already coming out from his little fire babies. There we got a Smoke Gate coming up from the Dire. They're gonna see if they can find somebody. They will find them right in front of their own base. They're gonna try to wrap around into the safety of their jungle and go right in. Looks like they will be finding himself an ancient person who's actually trying to do his best and hide. But it looks like they actually might be able to cast out the courier. And oh my gosh, if they kill the courier and they get the kill on top of everybody, it will be horrendous. The courier will be coming through here very soon. Viper does scout out, does get the kill on top of the courier. Meanwhile, the fight breaks out on the side. We got an ancient person getting killed, a courier and an ancient person. Also, I do not think Slack will be able to make us alive. He does have his ulti, so he should. Yeah, no, he should. He'll be fine. Tornado from Invoker, a little bit too short, and it's a little bit off as well. But that tornado hit Invoker, and his crew would have been able to casually kill everything. And by the looks of it, Viper's going to be going for an Aghanim Scepter. Viper for Ags, I mean that makes his ult like a 2-second cooldown? We shall see. I don't think he'll tell me. I think Dota just hates me. It doesn't want to tell me what Viper's ulti does with the mags. Oh wait, there it is. Scepter cooldown is 12 seconds versus the normal cooldown of 30 seconds. Like he needs a cooldown reduction. Just saying. So my Storm Spirit trying to collect more farm. His Bloodstone is up. Timbersaw's Bloodstone is up as well. So double Bloodstone Dota is what you see on the side of Volcania on the Radiant. As far as the rest of everybody else, I mean, they're relatively broke. Slark has a Sanj and Yasha. Force Staff is up on Rubik, which is excellent to help them survive versus the Viper ult. But really, I mean, Ancient Apparition's where it's at. He needs to go ahead and get that mechanism up. And now Storm Spirit shows up, throws out the static remnant, and just casually runs away because he doesn't want to get caught out too terribly bad. And now bottom Slark just going to casually run away as well, so no Shadow Blade for him, no shenanigans going on for that. He did go for the Sanjiasha for the extra HP and also for the extra movement speed. And he's now moving at max movement speed at level 14. What more could you want? Sentry War is getting thrown down, the Observer War does get killed. And the Radiant are going to go ahead and go in full retreat because they do not want to get caught out in the worst way possible. And speaking of the worst way possible, let's look at the gold to see who's actually doing the worst. And it looks like the Dire are holding on to it by 1,000 gold. But guys, I always count the tower gold because that's the main source of gold. The Dire are down by 2 towers, which means that if they claim just one of those towers that Volcania have, then the gold graph will be even. If they make the towers completely even, then Team SENSEi are technically up by 1,000 gold, which is not that huge of a lead, especially when you're this deep into the game. So both sides definitely have the potential to just start snowballing out of control and just start doing things and just go crazy. But I really think it's a very scary deal. And actually, Timbersaw, speaking of scary deals, Timbersaw just might be getting the scariest of all deals. Sees a whole bunch of people, says nope, tries to continue to run away, does get a nice little pull on top of over here. Invoker gets himself a nice little tornado on top of Timbersaw. Timbersaw going to get exploded here very soon. Timber chains to a tree right in front of him, does go down, and the ulti for Ancient Pusher does fly where Timbersaw's body lays. Just said, bro, chill out, even though they're on the same team. Storm Spirit trying to do what he can and pull Luna. Luna does get after pot the shield, and she goes for a man's up, goes for the ulti. Rubik still something. Rubik still for the Luna ulti, does a little bit of damage, but does go down before it does anything. Abaddon ulti gets popped on the backside, and now everybody just casually backs away from the Dire side. And even though Timbersaw did see those guys and he did escape, I think he should have just TP'd out. He was kind of banking on the fact that the Dire would just back away and try to go defend their towers elsewhere. But the Dire were hunting. They wanted blood. And Timbersaw should have known that was up. He has a Bloodstone, so he comes back quickly. Yeah, but you don't want to waste those Bloodstone charges. Especially when you're not sure if you're going to get those guaranteed kills. Tower going to be taking a whole bunch of damage. Storm Spirit, so many last hits, I haven't really paid attention to it. But 224 last hits. That is, what is that? That is 111000000. Oh, that's too many zeros. One less zero. That's binary. And now it changed, so it's 231. I can't do that math fast enough. Anyway, long story short, Storm Spirit has a lot of farm. As far as everybody else goes, because we need to take a look at the net worth so I can see if Crystal Maiden is still at the bottom, as she usually is. Nope, Abaddon's at the bottom. Which, actually, this paints a better picture than it did last time, but the supports are way under leveled on the Dire side, which is not what you want to have happen. Under farmed, at least. Their net worth on the side of the Radiant side is a little bit better than the Radiant farm. But then the Dire farm. If you look at the levels, I don't know if that's as big. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. One level difference. Rubik might need a level 11 so he can hold on to that spell for a little bit longer, and there he gets it. So I say, so he gets it. Ancient Persian, he level 11 ulti. I think it just makes it do a little bit more damage. That's really about it. The damage, or maybe it ticks for a little bit longer. Yeah, it takes like 1 second longer. It does a little bit more damage per tick. And also the kill threshold is opened up by a little bit. So it improves it a little bit. It makes it a little bit better, yeah. But him having level 11, I would like to see him have level 11 just for the stats alone. So the Radiant have a stack of their own. Slark's going to go ahead and start killing that. Do you have a Shadow Blade? No, Sanjiasha. He's going to back away, regenerate his HP, because that's what lizard men things do.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And meanwhile, bottom tower is getting killed by a Storm Spirit who's casually getting the right clicks away. The Dire do need to respond to this, but the Radiant need to go ahead and defend their towers as well. So both sides are in danger of trading towers. And I do think at this point, if you're on team Volcania, you want to defend your towers because that's where your advantage is coming from. And look, Rubik stole. Guess what Rubik stole?
Dire's bottom tower was inevitably.
Anyway, ulti comes out from Viper. Ulti comes out from Venomant on top of Viper of all people. And Viper's actually trying to run away. He's trying to run away from his own ulti, taking a whole bunch of damage. The ulti for Ancient Person did land on top of him. Luna pops the ulti, gets a little bit of damage, pops the BKB as well. So that means BKB will be on cooldown, and it's gonna be a little bit of an issue for this next fight. And Storm Spirit does claim the tower down bottom, and also claims a little bit of damage on top of these guys as well. Trying to get a little bit more mana. He will be able to zip here very soon. Does dodge a little bit of damage. Will he be able to TP in time? The answer is no. Probably should have suicided. But the mega kill does go towards Viper, and that AC is helping him out immensely. Oh, oh, sorry, kills. Stop having on top. People running away. My fault, guys. I think did I just see a blink? Was that a blink? That wasn't a blink. Doesn't really matter. Fight's still going to continue. We got Megan on that Viper. Megan on that Slaughter. Trying to do a little bit. We got Timbersaw getting a couple of worst way possible. Takes a whole bunch of damage coming out from Luna. And Slark trying to see Abaddon's very low. Trying to go for that kill, but Slark, sadly, Abaddon has his ulti. And Slark pops his ulti, continues to run away because he just wants to make it alive. Gonna go ahead and TP out while he can. Invoker has a tornado. Tornado not gonna be fast enough. Or invoked fast enough. Definitely Blast was on cooldown. Cold Snap, not gonna be able to find a target. And of course, Sunstrike falls as well. I don't know. Yeah, landed in base. Not gonna do nearly enough to kill the Slark. And now we get the whole entire dire side pushing in full force. In full force.
Radiant's top tower
On
is
top
under
tower.
attack.
And the defense, the pings come on through. The Radiant know they need to defend this, but they can't do too terribly much because it's
I see
already
that
gone.
Radiant just fortified their structures. Radiant's top tower needs bandages. Radiant's top tower was crushed to smithereens.
Storm Spirit zips in, tries to find a target, gets the silence on top of Abaddon, not really going to do too much. Abaddon, Ancient Pressure ulti does fly. Surprisingly hit 3 people of all people, they don't have any damage to follow up. If they have some more damage to follow up, they might be able to get something, but we got Invoker with the Sunstrike, and Sunstrike did land on Ancient Pressure. Oh, he's looking for Ancient. He's looking for Storm. Storm a little bit too much HP, and all in all, I mean, that was a risky fight. If they'd have lost a Storm, it would have been definitely a horrible fight, but they didn't lose anybody, so I guess not that big of a deal. Slark finds a Luna, gets a leash on top of Luna. Luna BKB is not at, she does have a BKB, but these guys can't find the damage. They get a nice little heal on top of Luna. Luna's gonna be able to survive. Slark gonna get his path cut off. Beautiful position coming out from Tinker on that Slark. And now we got Stormtrooper zipping in, trying to get a kill on top of Luna. BKB getting popped by Invoker like a man, and now we got Chris Maiden taking a whole bunch of damage. She does go down. Double kill for Storm. Buyback did come from Luna. She wants to go back into the fight. Now we got the fight happening around the side. I don't know if Slark did not go down. He's going to continue to fight. Abaddon ulti is getting procced. We got Timbersaw getting a lot of HP right on back, and Abaddon should be going down here very soon. Luna ulti does fly through. A lot of damage going towards Timbersaw. A lot of damage going towards Slark as well. Slark does get hit up with a nice little mechanism charge, and I think maybe it was a Bloodstone charge coming from Timbersaw. And now we got the man fight happening between Luna and Storm Spirit. The Storm Spirit wins because he's a spirit. You can't beat a spirit in the fight, guys. I'm just saying. It really Slark only won that fight versus whoever, I think it was Invoker or I don't know, Viper, Abaddon, whoever he was fighting. Only won that fight because Timbersaw died and the Bloodstone was popped. The heal went towards everybody, and those were just enough to keep him alive, help him get enough damage to kill everybody. And essentially a team wipe on team since buybacks do come through. Viper buys back, Invoker buys back. They're going to try to go for something. Viper gets the ulti off on top of Ancient Pressure. Ancient Pressure is very smart, so TP's out. He can actually toss his ulti back in mid if he really
Dire's
wants
middle
to.
tower is in the wrong end of business.
And Storm Spirit does get away. Rubik not going to be so lucky. He's going to be the martyr for his team and dies in a nice little painful way. Sadly, Invoker and also Viper are not collecting any gold. Chris Maiden can collect gold, but Viper and Invoker aren't collecting any gold. Oh, okay, Viper is now. But Invoker is not collecting any gold because he did buy back. And when you buy back, your gold income is, well, it's disabled as far as killing creeps goes. A perfect time to kill Rashawn, but not when there's the ulti from Ancient Pressure land on top of you. Abaddon taking a little bit of damage. Just a little bit too much. And ulti, oh sorry, not ulti, never mind. Roshan's taking a whole bunch of damage. Invoker, Cold Snap, helping him out. Will it be enough? It will be enough, just fast enough. And that needs Ace to go from Luna, but it looks like he's getting picked up by Viper. Meanwhile, Slark does take a little bit of damage, forced to pop his ulti. Oh, he hasn't popped his ulti, but he needs to go and pop his ulti. Sunstrike does come through, not enough to kill him. And Slark will live to fight another day, but the pings are around, they see the Observer Ward, they want to kill it. But it's way too risky, so they send the Forest Spirits instead. So let's see, Sheepstick is up on Storm Spirit, which is a big item to have, especially when you have a Luna doing that much damage, and you also have a Viper who's that survivable. That's also really good versus Invoker as well. I mean, he has an Orchid, so he can disable Invoker. Well, okay, he needs a Sheep Abaddon, he also needs a Silent Invoker. That's what he needs to do. And he actually gets an easy kill on top of Luna. Sheepstick plus Orchids equals dead person, and Luna is definitely a dead person right now. All she has is a Yasha, BKB, and a Helmet of Dominator to her name. It looks like she's saving up for a Reaver, so she can go ahead and get that Satanic. But I really would like to see her get that Mantis Style as well, so maybe it's the Mantis Style instead. That is weird. Okay, you guys watching DotA TV might not see this, but there's like a TP thing just chilling right on there. That is so weird. Somebody broke DotA, guys. Aghanosceptor is finished up on top of Viper. As far as everything else goes, Sheepstick on Storm, I called that out. BKB up on Slark, I don't think I called that out, but we saw him use it. Moving from the bottom, moving up, we see Invoker's working on a Aghanosceptor of his own. Force Staff is up on Crystal Maiden, which is a luxury item relative to Crystal Maiden. Viper has that AC and also Ags plus Mechanism, making it survivable. The only thing he needs now is he needs to like replace TP Scroll or Boosted Travel, and then replace his Power Treads with the Heart of Tarrasque, and then he'll just be like almost 6 ladder. Almost. The only thing keeping him back is I think the Mechanism. He needs to have somebody else build that. Or maybe just sell it and get rid of it. You don't really need it that much. Because if you take damage at this point in the game, you're pretty much dead. But yeah, that's really about it. These guys are just kind of playing a nice little game of cautious play. Trying to see if they can find any kills anywhere. They will be able to find a Slark if they do decide to walk up this high ground, which would be a perfect, because Slark is actually primed and ready for them to go for the kill. Actually might die here very soon. Does leap away.
Dire's top tower is not on top of things.
Gonna go ahead and casual regen up because he's a chameleon slithering thing. Man, lizard, boy, bear, pig. And the TP thing's still there, so weird. I see the pings, they're pinging it. So they can see it as well. I'm not crazy. Alright guys, I'm not crazy, they see it as well. It's weird stuff happening in DotA. Alright, Storm Spirit found himself an Abaddon in the jungle. He's gonna go and zip forward and try to pop that ulti at least. Abaddon force step himself forward. Gets a nice little Athropathic shield so his ulti doesn't go to waste. And Storm, the question is, does Storm really want to go for it? Because if he does throw his ulti on top of, throw out anything on top of Abaddon, his ulti will proc and he'll be fine. And then people just TP him and just take Storm. Speaking of kill Storm, Storm jukes, almost jukes a Viper. Poison attack. Alright guys, here's a question for you, nice little fun thought for you. What is the difference between poison and venom? I'll give you a moment to think about it. Right, perfect, that was a perfect time, it's like a Jeopardy thing. Alright, the difference between poison and venom is that venom is something that tries to eat you, as in if it lands on your skin, it tries to disintegrate your skin and go through you. But poison only hurts you if you ingest it. You have to ingest poison before it starts doing any damage to you. So that's the difference. Which is why you can have poison lipstick or poison, I don't know, skin stuff. Put poison stuff around all in your body, but you won't feel anything. But if you put venomous stuff on you, you would just like, I don't know, start melting through your skin and dissolving you into goo, and you just turn into, yeah. Okay, let's not think about that. That's a little bit too deep. Satanic finished up on Luna. She's ready to fight. She's ready to go. She's ready to kill anything. And Nova is right under her, ready to go as well. They're ready to pounce. They're gonna go ahead and push that straight down mid. Kill his tier 2 tower on the outside because they do have the damage. The Fortify is available for the Radiant, so they can pop if they want. Which I actually think they should. Actually, no. I agree. I agree with the decision. Sack the outer tower. Tier 3 is what they need to worry about. Viper's Aegis is going to be wearing out in 56 seconds, so they can hold off long enough. So it looks like they will be able to hold off long enough. That means Aegis will not be in the next fight. And Tinker going to feel very sad. Storm Spirit here. Storm Spirit zips all the way down to kill the Crystal Maiden. Easy kill is easy, but he's going to have to worry about. Actually, no. Crystal Maiden does get saved by Abaddon. Now Storm Spirit is getting turned on. He's going to go ahead and zip away. Might need to go ahead and pop his ulti so he can kill himself. He's actually going to TP out. Just casually TPs out. Timbersaw finds himself in Invis room, picks it up for himself. Slark was here to help out as well. Just in case. Storm did get caught on the worst way possible, which he definitely did. But yeah, Storm has crazy regen. Storm has 50 mana regen outside of the fountain. Because of Orchids plus Bloodstone, 11 charges, and also play a Sheepstick and Power Treads and the Intelligence form. So all he's really missing is, I don't know, a Lincoln Sphere, yeah. He's missing a Lincoln Sphere for more regen. And Storm Spirit zips in, sees a little bit, jumps in, jumps out, sees a little bit more. HI pressure ulti's gonna fly, gonna land on top of Invoker. Invoker might be taking a lot of damage. BKB coming out from Storm Spirit, he's gonna go for the main fight, pulls in Invoker, pulls in Viper actually. Viper gonna take a whole bunch of damage. Don't forget the H is already down. So much stuff is going around, I can't really keep up with him. My computer's lagging like a boss. Meanwhile, Luna popping Satanic already. She's gonna go for the damage, taking a whole bunch of damage. It's gonna be going down a little bit too soon. No ages left to speak of. And it looks like the fight will be happening. It will be in the favor of Volcania. Surprisingly, Abaddon gonna go and TP out because his ulti's on cooldown. No telekinesis for Ruby to stop him. And now we got somebody getting chased. Crystal Maiden gonna be going down once again. Timbersaw picking off that kill. And the only person left alive is Abaddon, and he's the only one here to help them push back. Oh, sorry, it's 2 people. Invoker's here too. I just assume Invoker died. But Invoker is getting chased by Storm Spirit, who's continuously regenerating up 52 mana regeneration, or 52 mana per second. And I can hear it now. I can hear the shark tone.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, never mind. He didn't jump on anybody. Gonna go ahead and push the lanes. Beautiful tornado coming out from Invoker. Tornado plus EMP, sapping all the mana of Ancient Burst, which is a horrible thing because he needs his ulti for his next fight. Viper doesn't get telekinesis got by Root, so beautiful play coming out for him. After the shield keeps him in place, and now we got somebody stuck in place. That's a smart caught all by his lonesome. I don't know if he has a Scotty, but if he, yeah, he has a Scotty. He has a lot of HP, but it's not gonna help him survive all of that. It's too much damage. And Storm Spirit zips out. He's fine. Safe. Alright, so I'm getting some massive lag when I try to follow people. I think I know why. Okay, I do not know why. Oh, why? What's it? What? I don't know where to have Internet Explorer open. What's wrong with me? Sucking up all my resources. So Crystal Maiden working on her BKB, or an Aghanim Scepter, likely a BKB. We have, the items are looking extremely good on both sides. It's like a hard game to tell. Like I said before, I would favor the lineup of Team SENSEi because Luna. But, I mean, Luna's getting picked up by Storm Spirit like a boss, and Storm Spirit actually going to go for the kill. Luna pops that Satanic, goes for the kill, tries to turn on top of Storm. Storm actually out of mana. Not going to be able to make it there fast enough. He actually TP's out, does get hit with a nice little stun coming off from something. I don't know where that stun came from. Or maybe he just canceled his TP. Does somebody have an MKB? Okay, maybe Viper's ulti has a mini stun? Which if it did, that's new to me. Or news, not necessarily new, but news to me. I don't know if Viper's ulti has a mini stun, because if it does, that'd be pretty sad. And by sad I mean sick. But Storm Spirit did go down. He had a Bloodstone of 12 charges, and now it's at 8, so he should be back up momentarily. He'll be back up just in time to help his team defend this base, and they will need his ability to be explosive, his explosiveness, to actually win this. Invoker gonna go ahead and TP in and try to push his lane. I think he should have TP'd up top and let his team push down bottom. But A is gonna go and throw the ulti towards Roshan. Try to see where he's at. Elgato gonna just casually stay there while the ulti flew. Curry taking TPs to people who need them, such as Crystal Maiden. And we're just getting to the chiller part of the game. The gold graph is essentially 0 if you guys wanted to look at that. If you look at the XP graph, it's essentially hitting 0. As I always say about the XP graph is relatively irrelevant because the longer the game goes on, the closer and closer compared to 0. But it's still a really good indicator where everybody is at the current point in time. And as you guys can see, the gold graph, or the XP graph is essentially hitting 0. I mean, both sides are getting to a level 25s. The supports are leveling out. They're finally hitting a level 16s, except for Ancient Persian because he's been dying a lot. But he has level 2 as ulti, which is all that matters. And Storm Spirit is almost level 25. Viper is level 22. It was actually a little bit surprising because I felt Viper was doing a little bit better than Storm. But apparently not. Timbersaw's still here, doing what he can. Viper ulti, just casually tossing out on top of all the creeps. And Slark. And here we go, the base is going to be getting sieged from 2 parts. I do like this play coming out from the Radiant. Next we got a zip-in coming up from Storm Spirit. He's catching himself a wild Invoker tornadoes instantly. And Storm doing an excellent job of distracting while his team goes and pushes in. These guys are going to try to take something. These middle towers taking a whole bunch of damage. Ulti from Viper does land on top of Timbersaw. He is going to take a whole bunch of damage, but it's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, oh my gosh, my computer. Meanwhile, CulBlu obviously not scheduled to drive right now. But everybody's surviving. A lot of damage getting done to both towers. This tower takes more damage than it should, which is any damage at all. And this middle tower, very close to dying. Very close to dying. And Roshan is actually back up right now, so the Radiant might want to go for this very soon. Sark actually steals his TP, picks up the enemy's TP, and then walks away. And Tornado does come from Invoker. Force Staff did come forward from Abaddon just in case these guys were doing Ro8. They do find the Sark. Sark's going to go ahead and pop himself a death pack and continue running. HI person is here on point. And now the top tower is going to be getting pushed in. And this is one strategy that I love seeing. I love seeing this. Basically, I didn't talk about it much what was happening, but basically you have 2 lanes pushed in at once. You have 1 lane pushed in mid where most of your team is, and just send somebody up top to just casually be a nuisance. If the enemy team doesn't respond to the person who's singly by themselves with the giant creep wave pushing it as well, then that tower is pretty much going to take way more damage than it should, which is any, to be honest. But if they don't respond to that, or sorry, if they do respond to that, then the rest of your people, because you have all your team essentially here in a nice juicy creep wave, can pretty much kill this tower all by yourself, and then maybe win a team fight. So some really good stuff coming out from both sides. Viper ulti does fly on top of HI pressure. HI pressure not going to be able to do anything but pop a mech and continue to run. Not going to be able to make it out far enough. And Slark is trying to chase himself Viper. Viper is going to be able to turn around and get the kill on top of Slark. Slark pops the BKB, pops his ulti, just casually starts to run away. Needs to go and TP out. Finds a leash, or finds a leap, does leap away just in time. That's what time on top of that. Timbersaw leaps away as well. The only person lost is an HI person, and with HI person down, that's a free Ro8 coming out for the Dire. Luna will be picking that up. She has space made for it already. No Mantis Stealth to speak of. Looks like she's able to buy that. And actually, Luna buys something. She buys Eagle Song, so she's going to be going for a Butterfly next. So let's go ahead and look at the buyback, because I think that's the most important thing to know right now. The buyback status shows that Storm Spirit has more than enough for buyback. He probably doesn't need a buyback. It's a freaking Bloodstone, for goodness sakes. Crystal Maiden has her buyback up very soon. Does she have enough gold for it? Pfft, of course not. It's Crystal Maiden. Actually, no. She's very close. She's like 30 gold off. I want to say she's saved for a Ghost Scepter, but if you buy a Ghost Scepter as a Crystal Maiden, you get blown up by Ancient Apparition. And you also get blown up by Timbersaw. So it's not the best of ideas. It's like you just need a BKB, which is actually what she's working on. People on the Radiant pushing mid, and we got a pause coming out from DotA on the side of the Radiant. Saying, give me a second, please. The gold graph essentially at 0, the XP graph essentially at 0, and this game is so close it's not even funny. It's like, if one side even sneezes in the wrong direction, they're going to lose the game. This is one of those games where you just like, every move that you make counts. If you just overstep your boundaries just once, it's pretty much GG. But the items do show something very interesting, and the interesting thing it shows is that everybody's getting a lot of farm. The crappy supports, or not crappy, the supports that were having crappy farm, like I stated before, they're actually getting their bigger items. Rubik has a sheepstick, Timbersaw has a sheepstick, and Stormspirit has a sheepstick. That is 3 sheeps, way too many that you want to see, or that you want to face. I don't know, that's supposed to make sense. 3 more sheep that you don't want to see. And Team SENSEi right now, they're actually getting controlled very well. I did say this before that I do favor the lineup of Team SENSEi in the long run, mainly because Invoker plus Luna can go harder, or yeah, pretty much carry a little bit harder than Slark and Storm Spirit. All that said, it really does depend on how you play it. It depends on what items you build, and the items that we see from Volcania are excellent items to have versus this lineup, because you have to worry about the Abaddon with his Athropathic Shield shenanigans and also with his ulti shenanigans. You also have to worry about Luna with her actual damage and Viper with his annoyance. Not necessarily his damage, but his annoyance. Viper's not really about all that much as far as I'm concerned. Not all about damage. He's really just about surviving and being the quote-unquote tank for his team. Invoker, he's very annoying as well. So being able to have all the control that Volcania have, like they have Slark with a Scotty, which is really nice for making sure people can't run away. They have Stormspirit with not only a Sheepstick but also an Orchids and a BKB. So that means he can disable, he can silence, he can shut Invoker up, he can sheep up Abaddon, and then his other team, or the rest of his team, can sheep up whoever they need to make sure the fights happen the way they want to happen. And he can pop BKB and continue to get his right clicks on like nobody's business. Oh, and by the way, guys, Storm Spirit has a Lincoln's, so his regen is now officially up to 64.4 mana regeneration. Storm Spirit is essentially standing in a fountain without being in a fountain at all. That is some crazy sick regen. He can pretty much zip in, waste all his mana, and then have enough mana by the time he's done doing all his shenanigans and zip on out. but Rubik's Sheep Stick is huge because that means he has yet another disable. He can telekinesis one person, sheep up another, save an ally with the Force Staff, or save himself with the Force Staff, or maybe Force Staff in, telekinesis Sheep Stick, and let his team do everything else. And then afterwards, he'll be like Zeus and do lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt, death. Sorry, it'll be Fade Bolt. I had to do it, guys. I'm sorry. I apologize. Memes. What can I say? So I was looking at the gold graph, essentially 0. The XP graph, close enough to 0. It's getting to the point where it doesn't matter anymore. Like I said, the longer and longer the game goes on, the closer and closer it converges to 0, which means the more and more it doesn't matter. We got a Vladimir's Offering coming up on Ancient Aberration, and I love the crap out of this. And the main reason for that is because Vladimir's Offering gives your team an additional source of damage and also gives Stark some nice lifesteal. So it's really cool. It's an item that gives Ancient Aberration some more armor, some more regen, some more, well, not very good regen, but some more regen, some more armor, some more stuff. And Storm's actually going to zip around across. He's going to find the Courier, gets a kill on top of the Courier. Holy crap, beautiful play coming out from Juan. Being very patient, saw the Courier come in, says, hey, the Courier's going to be right about here, finds his ally mid, and they're going to casually push his in, and the Dire are going to have to respond to this, unless they want to lose this game. If they do not respond to this, they will lose this game, and Slark actually going to do a little bit of scouting, finds that nobody, or two people are TPing in. Storm going to casually push his bottom lane, and really, I mean, what can I say, Volcania are doing what they should be doing this game. All they have to do is sit back and chill. This is their game to lose. Nonetheless, if they go for a head-on fight, yeah, the BKB can be on Storm, but still you have to be worried about the Viper ult, because Viper ulti can slow down Storm, which means Storm can maneuver as well as he wants to when the fights do break out. But if they do go for a head-on-head clash, Luna should be able to clean up a few people. She might be the primary target for Volcania at this point, which means that Crystal Maiden, Abaddon, and Invoker need to do their jobs. Or it's going to be very hard to do your job as a Abaddon, Crystal Maiden, or Invoker when you're turned into a Piggy or Silenced Up. Just saying, guys. But yeah, like I said though, this is Volcania's game to lose. They basically just need to push all the lanes, keep all the lanes as pushed as they possibly can, put as much pressure as they possibly can on top of Team SENSEi, and they should be able to break the base in one of these lanes. Like they already broke a tower here, so this one will be available for them to pick off if the team is focusing on its top tower. If the team is all dead, then they can just easily kill these Raxes and then roam over and kill these Raxes and then casually derp on over and kill those Raxes, and that'll pretty much be GG. All within the time that it takes them to kill. Actually, we got beautiful force stack coming from Rubik. The ulti from Ancient Aberration does fly through. Storm Spirit zips in, gets another sheep on top of Abaddon. Luna does go down. Double sheep on top of her. She's dead. She's surrounded by a whole entire enemy squad, and BKBs gets popped by her. She pops her ulti. Not going to really be able to do too much. A lot of right click coming from Storm Spirit. Not doing nearly enough to actually get the kill. Rubik actually steals the ulti, pops the ulti, does a little bit of damage, gets the kill on top of Crystal Maiden while in his force shovels, and a lot of damage going towards the other way. Tornado from Invoker coming from the backside, doing a little bit of work, almost able to pick off Timbersaw, a little bit too survivable. And now Storm's going to go all in on top of Invoker. Invoker does not die. He does get the kill on top of Timbersaw, or Viper gets the kill on top of Timbersaw, but Viper does go down. Invoker tornadoes himself. If only he had a blink dagger is all I got to say, and he does go down. And I do think the key fault in that whole entire fight was the fact that Invoker didn't pop his BKB not once. If he would have popped his BKB, he would have not had to worry about the Storm Spirit's pull, because that's really what stopped him from continuing to do his right clicks. But all that said, guys, that is just what Volcania needs to push into the base. They can send two people mid. Actually, we got Storm Spirit zipping in. Finds herself a wild Luna, and Luna taking a whole bunch of damage. Going to be going down for a trouble. She did buy back, which means she's going to be dead for a whole entire 103 seconds. Crystal Maiden going to be next. Slark finds himself a kill. He finds himself one. He will be finding himself another. Invoker's trying to run away. Trash is in a lot of trouble. Going to be popping the Force Spirit. He's going to be trying to do what he can. Doesn't do enough. Does go down as well. 109 seconds. GG well played from Abaddon on the side of Team SENSEi. And I'm out of breath. And what an exciting way to end such an epic game. Like I said, just one mistake. If you sneeze in the wrong direction, you're going to lose the game. But hey, that's how DotA works. You fight so hard to do as good as you can, and all we can ask for is your best. So anyway, that's the end of that game. A very long game, yes, relative to the series that we're playing, but a very well played game from both sides. My name is CulBlu. I just brought you guys my second cast for today for the Thursday Evening Cup series. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'll see you guys whenever.